All right, guys, I'm going to upload this video, which is 143, so it's the one prior to the one you're watching here, obviously. And we'll just see how long it takes with the Starlink. So there we are there. I'll have to get a thumbnail, but we'll just see how fast it goes. I'm kind of curious. All right, guys, the video uploaded, and see right there at the bottom where it says checking 6%. So I can technically shut the computer off now if I wanted to, but it took an hour and 18 minutes to upload. So that's pretty good. Nice. Domtar. So you can see where the original dam was right here. And then this was built, so yeah, very cool. So on the move again, guys, just heading out west. So when I'm always back home, I'm obviously doing a lot of things. Things are planned, I'm visiting people, and I just don't like taking a camera. And every time I go to visit somebody or go to a function or something, I don't want to put a camera in somebody's face. So that's why every time I go to visit back home, or I go back home, you don't see too many videos, just because of that one fact. So guys, I'm just west of Timmins right now on 101. I got about probably a 3-hour drive before I get to Wawa. That is correct, Wawa, Ontario. And yeah, beautiful day. So south, the reason why I came, I was going to go from the Sudbury area because, well, you probably would have known, I'm going to show you some clips, but I went back up to the 700 and friends of mine came up and camped with me for about 4 days. And Brian and Sarah. And yeah, so we hung out for about 4 days, and then they went back down to the Goderich area, and I came further north rather than going back towards Sudbury and then going on the Trans-Canada Highway because of a storm, and back home, and I missed it, but back home there was trees down and power outages. So friends of mine were talking about, my sister called me up and said it's just really bad right now. They were talking about hail, and they were talking about tornadoes. I got a little bit of rain, but that was it. And by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was not even a cloud in the sky up here. So it was a good move for me to come further north. That's why I didn't go just straight out. But anyways, yeah, so just heading out west now. I want to do the Yukon area. I want to do Yukon, and it's beautiful out there. Camping's really reasonable, and I want to do that for a month and a half, and then make my way back down to BC, through BC, and then over to the island again, and possibly, like last year, get on the Coho ferry and head over to Washington and down through the States. We'll see. I know Canadians are doing it now. They're filling out that form you're supposed to fill out. Supposedly it's just a form. And I don't play the political game where I'm on there talking about politicians and stuff like that. Like, there is no freedom of speech. Both sides will talk about freedom of speech. There isn't, because if they confiscate your equipment and they find out that you say something bad about Donald Trump, then they could either detain you or not allow you to come into their country. So there is no such thing as freedom of speech. But I don't play that game anyway, so they can search anything they want. If they feel like they have to search. I don't know. Anyways, beautiful day. We're driving right into a storm here, guys. That is not a pretty sky at all. So guys, just leaving Nipagon right now. I stayed here at this campground for 2 days, and then it poured last night. Like, I mean, it downpoured. I'm actually quite surprised. There's some people with their tents, so I would imagine they didn't have a very good night. Anyways, oh, another spot right there. Just heading west now on number 11, and I was just in touch with someone, and I'm going to put a clip here, that I met on the road 3 years ago, and her name is Sherry, and she's in Minnesota, and she's just on the other side of the border, about a 2-hour drive. So I said, hey, I says, let's go camping. So she's actually looking it up now to find if there's a couple spots. One at Bear Paw, I believe it's called Bear Paw Campground, and she's gonna see if she can find 2 spots side by side. So it's, all the electrical hookups are taken for the weekends. Today is Sunday, so we're talking about maybe going there next weekend. I'm about a 4-hour drive to where I got to cross the border, another little campground, and then after that it's about another 2-hour drive on the other side. So, like I said, I'm only going to be 2 hours down, 2 hours back, 4 hours total trip out of the way. So that's not bad. Maybe I'll even try to hit that campground for like 4 or 5 days, maybe. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. Holy crap, guys. I had around half a tank of fuel, and there was just a Esso, so I thought, well, you know what, I don't know, I'm pretty remote areas up here, I should just fill up. $1.80 a liter. Cost me $160 for half a tank. Whoa. Well, I didn't have the camera on the mirror going, guys, but there was a pickup truck and a lot of front end damage on it, and it looked like he was towing a lift. And there's another guy walking back in the same direction I was, and about maybe 100, 150 meters, there was a moose, a bull moose, big rack, in the ditch, but it didn't look like it was dead. It looked like it was just laying there with his head up. So I'm going to check, I'm going to pull over here shortly and take my dash cam out and take the footage and just see if I can get anything off that thing. But yeah, oh wow. So yeah, they hit a moose. Now what I've seen right across from the moose on the opposite side was another truck that stopped. But what the people are doing is they got chisels and hammers, and they're chipping away on the rock face. And they're, you know, obviously they're working away on it. So I'm kind of thinking that the moose heard these people on the rocks, came out to see what's going on, and then this guy coming in this direction hit the moose, because the whole front end of his truck, he's off to the side, it's all damaged. But wow. So I'm about an hour and a half east of Thunder Bay, basically between Thunder Bay and Port Francis. And this is a logging area here. And I came in that direction there, so the highway, number 11, is about a kilometer that way. So I am kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, so I think this will be a perfect spot for tonight. I'm just going to, you see the big power lines down there, so the road goes that way and keeps going down towards the power line. I was going to go down further, but I thought I'd just come for a walk first and see what it looks like. But regardless, I'm going to stay right where I am. Look at that. Perfect spot. Look at all the firewood if I wanted some fire. Well, you can see the trail goes down here, and then it heads over up there and heads back up over the road over there. But this is perfect. Nope, this will be a good spot. And just by the look of the ground here, I don't see any tracks, so I don't think anybody's been down here for quite a while. Well, it obviously looks like I haven't ran away from my mosquito problem that I had up in Sudbury. She is pretty bad down here too. My plan, guys, is to cross the border actually tomorrow morning sometime. I'm still I'm right now, I think I'm about 2.5 to 3 hours away from where I'm going to be crossing in Fort Francis. And then I was just talking to Sherry, and she wants to meet up around the Duluth area. She's not from Duluth, but she's not too far from there. So she says it's a nice area, and we'll try to find a campground. I don't know, have you guys ever done that before? Go on those the websites for these campgrounds and try to book online? Maybe you guys are way better than me, but I just find it an absolute, like, to me, it's almost like writing an essay for your bar, because I'll tell you something, it's just like, it's so damn confusing, and you get on there and 1 minute it says it's available, and then all of a sudden it says, well, what's the length of your vehicle? So I put in the length. Well, no, it shows now that I can't fit anywhere. Well, I'm total 50 feet. That's truck and trailer. And there's obviously guys with trailers that are like 38-foot trailers in their trucks, and they're all parking in these spots. So I just lowered the footage down to like 35 feet, and then all of a sudden some of them opened up, and I'm thinking 35 feet. Like, anyways, so I think I'm going to go down there. I never actually asked her when she will be joining, whether it's going to be Friday or Saturday. I don't really know, but so tomorrow's Wednesday, so I thought, well, I might as well cross Wednesday. But what I found when you cross the borders, of course, I haven't done it since Trump got back in, so I don't know. But at the one time, it was the, do you have any poultry and all this other kind of stuff, fruits and vegetables and everything like that. Well, as you can see here, my freezer's pretty well empty. I got some pork chops up there, but I'll be cooking them up. And then down here, I only have 3 eggs left. And I have some peppers down there, but other than that, the fridge is pretty bare. So I am going to be cooking all the meat today, though. So, and even chicken, if it's cooked chicken, then they'll allow you to cross with it. But if it's frozen or raw, then you can't. So I'm going to, well, I got the barbecue already set up, but I'm going to cook all the meat and then throw it back in the freezer. And it should be no problem crossing. At least it's never been a problem before. Like I said, I haven't crossed since Trump got in, so I don't really know 100% sure how things are going to happen. But anyways, we'll see what happens.
An upper ridge is building, and by tomorrow...
I can't even make this shit up, guys. So when I was back at the 700, you would have saw me I was camping there with Brian and Sarah. And when I took Sarah for a ride, we went up to a Y, and then we turned right and we went down, and we actually went fairly far. Actually, the road turned into a snowmobile trail, and there was a couple spots where you can go down to the river. Well, the one spot we went down the river, we actually crossed the river. It wasn't that deep. It was maybe 1.5 feet, and it was beautiful and all that. So there was another spot further down the road, decided to take it. Big mistake. There was a wooden bridge to go over top of a creek, and it was just wide enough for a snowmobile. Like, I mean, I would have been way too big. So, and the trail going down there was on the side of the bank, and it was really bad, and tall grass and everything, and I had to do like a 49,000 point turn. The problem is, and I can't make this shit up, guys, there was a tree stump, like a tree was cut, and the stump was about 1 foot off the ground, and because of the tall grass, I couldn't see it. So when I backed up in the back end of the vehicles like this, because it's a slope, and then I went like this to try to turn around, my front tire hit the stump, and I had no idea. We got back up to the road, and I even said to Sarah, I said, something doesn't feel right. I stopped. The brand new tires. If I've got 60 kilometers on these tires, I'll be surprised. And I put a piece of the stump right through there, right through the sidewall. I know you can see that. So it went instant flat. I mean, look at these things. They still got the damn knobs or whatever you call it on the tires. Now, because it's for side-by-side, I'm going to get them to take it off and then just put a patch across here, and it'll still be good enough for a spare. It'll go back up top for a spare. But yeah, I mean. But again, like, I see guys driving these things all over the place with a spare tire, and this is twice now. Twice I've had to use my spare tire, and I've got less than 3,000 kilometers on this thing. So these guys are going out in the middle of nowhere without a spare tire. To me, that's just cuckoo, because it wasn't like I could put air in it and stop and put air in it. It was like instant flat. So, and we were out probably, I'm going to say, a good 30 kilometers from camp. So I would have to drive all the way back on that. Well, I would have really screwed up that tire for sure if I had to go all the way back home, and possibly even the rim. But yeah, there's something to be said about carrying a spare. I don't care, I will. But anyways, But again, like I've told you before, it's my freaking luck. Unbelievable. Tires, batteries. Anyways. So it is a beautiful spot out here. So when I pulled in here, I was going to be for one day, and this is going to be my third day here. So, yeah. So like I said, I'm going to bring the food or the meat out and cook it on the barbecue, and then just put it in the freezer. And then that way, crossing the border should be no issues at all. And actually, the first day I got out here, it was really bad for mosquitoes. Well, you saw in the video there. And I've been out here now for about an hour and a half, and I haven't seen one bug. So knock on wood. But yeah. All right, guys, we are heading out of this logging road here. We've been for 3 days now, and heading to Port Francis, and then crossing the border today. Anyways, we will make our way down there. Beautiful day. So guys, I think that's going to be it for this one. So, as usual, be good, be kind, be careful. We'll see you down the road. Bye-bye. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way.